Game 1 between the Nuggets and the Lakers was probably a little bit deceptive if you were only watching for the first half of the game, because it kind of looked like the Nuggets were just going to run away with it. It kind of looked like the Lakers didn't have much of an answer for anything that the Nuggets were doing. But by the end of the game, it was actually really close, despite how lopsided it looked at the beginning. And this is because the Lakers made a lot of adjustments to try and counter a lot of what Denver was doing, and they had some success. So let's talk a little bit about what each team was doing. One of the staples of Denver's offense is going to be this Chicago action. The way that it works is Murray is going to be coming off of this pin down in the corner from Michael Porter Jr., and he's going to come up and get a dribble handoff from Jokic. Now, one of the things to pay attention to is Dennis Schroeder, because he's going to be the one who has to navigate these screens and make sure that he doesn't give up an easy three-point opportunity for Jamal Murray. But where things get a little more complicated is when he matches up against Murray again following the screen. Jokic is going to immediately re-screen and allow Murray to get into the pick and roll. Now, Schroeder's going to get caught up in this because he's getting screened by Jokic. There's not going to be many ways that he's going to be able to get around this, and that's going to cause Austin Reeves to sink in towards the elbow. And this is a problem for LA because it's going to leave Michael Porter Jr., who's one of the best catch and shoot three-point shooters in the NBA right now, completely open for three. The thing is, that was an example of that play when there actually is good screen navigation to shut down the shot from Jamal Murray coming off of the handoff. But on this play, we can see Michael Porter Jr. is going to set the initial pin down. Jamal Murray is going to come up to get the handoff. And here Schroeder is completely caught up in it. He really can't get around any of the screens, and it leaves Murray wide open coming off the handoff for an open three. But this is just a look at how their offense was operating in set plays. We really need to dial in and take a look at how the Lakers were defending Jokic, especially in the first half of the game, because things definitely started to change later on. Starting out, they had Anthony Davis playing on him man to man, and whenever Jokic was posting up, they would send double teams at him. Now, anybody that's watched Nikola Jokic play basketball before probably knows that sending double teams at him is a pretty bad idea, and we can see why on this play, because KCP is going to make the 45 cut into this little bit of space inside the paint, and Jokic just makes the perfect pass to him for an easy finish. Another issue for having Anthony Davis matched up against Nikola Jokic was the fact that the Nuggets were putting him into a lot of screening actions, meaning that not only does Anthony Davis have to focus on guarding Jokic when he's posting up or inside the paint, but also when he's coming off of a pin down like this one from Jamal Murray, AD is going to get caught up in it, and it gives Jokic enough space and time to pull the mid-range shot. This example is going to do a good job of showing that it's not the fact that Anthony Davis is a bad defender, it's the fact that when you have Anthony Davis pulled so far out of the paint, there's not going to be anybody else who's down there to provide help. You do kind of have LeBron hanging out towards the weak side dunker spot, but Anthony Davis is pulled out of the paint. There's really not any help down there. KCP is going to be curling around Jokic at the elbow, and it's going to make Anthony Davis think that there's going to be a pass going there, so he tries to jump it, but when he does, Jokic is going to use that to drive on him, attacking the paint, and LeBron does step in to maybe try and provide some deterrence, but Jokic just has too much space. He's got too much of a head of steam going downhill, and he's going to be able to flush it home. Nikola Jokic is just one of those guys who, when he's in the post, he's probably gonna get whatever he wants. So the disadvantage is the fact that Anthony Davis is matched up against him. If Anthony Davis gets beat on this post up like he does, there's nobody there who's going to be able to provide help. You can solve this by having somebody else guard Nikola Jokic. That way Anthony Davis is able to rotate over from the weak side and provide a contest on that shot, or go up for a block, or go up with Jokic and force him to miss. Another problem that was starting to arise for the Lakers, I noticed it a lot in the third quarter, but it was the fact that when Jokic was posting up, they were having to show a second defender on Jokic while he was still in the process of trying to back down or get by AD. And again, this is a situation where I think having somebody else guarding Jokic and having AD providing that weak side help in the paint if he needs to makes for a better defensive coverage for the Lakers, as opposed to having Dennis Schroeder show like he is here, which is going to leave the wide open pass to the perimeter for three. Instead of having to show that double team so early, you can wait and show that double team later if you don't have AD matched up on Jokic initially. So finally, in the fourth quarter, the Lakers decided to put Rui Hachimura on Nikola Jokic. Rui is a good defender, but I think more importantly is just the fact that he's a big body that can be in front of Jokic is enough to make this such an effective approach. Because now Jokic doesn't just have the task of getting by whoever's standing in front of him. Now Anthony Davis is waiting in the paint for him. Jeff Green is going to go out to the corner. Bruce Brown's going to be waiting in the corner, but both LeBron and AD are going to be waiting for him. So yeah, Jokic is going to drive and maybe get a decent enough angle on Rui, but then LeBron and Anthony Davis are going to sink in and show bodies in front of him, so Jokic is going to end up having to put up a difficult floater. Now what's interesting is the fact that the Nuggets almost immediately countered this right after, and what they did was they get the ball to Jokic at the elbow, he's got Rui on him, AD is going to be in the strong side dunker spot, and then Jamal Murray's going to set the screen for Michael Porter Jr. to come and get the handoff. And since LeBron gets caught up on Jamal's screen, this is going to force Rui to switch onto Porter Jr., which gets Rui off of Jokic. Jokic now has the matchup against LeBron, but this still leaves Anthony Davis in the paint kind of operating as a roamer. But since he's hanging out more towards the paint, Michael Porter Jr. is going to bail out of the shot and get it to Jeff Green, and Jeff Green's going to knock down the three. But to me, this is by design because the Lakers wanted to force guys who aren't necessarily considered floor spacers to have to shoot threes, and they live with the results because to them, it's more important that they don't allow Jokic to get what he wants down low. This approach has more benefits than just preventing Jokic from getting into the paint. It also allows for Anthony Davis to just operate more as a rim protector instead of having to be an on-ball guy. So Jokic has the matchup against Rui here, Anthony Davis is in the restricted area, and Jokic is going to kick it out to Michael Porter Jr. LeBron closes out on him, which allows Porter Jr. to attack, but when he gets downhill, Anthony Davis is waiting there. Rui can also provide help if he needs to, but the possession culminates into a really difficult fadeaway jumper for Michael Porter Jr. This also allowed for the Lakers to send their double from inside the post, whereas previously they were sending their double team from someone on the perimeter, which would usually leave shooters open, but instead they're now sending the double from the paint. Aaron Gordon's on the weak side baseline, and he's going to kind of sink towards the dunker spot so that he can get the potential dump off from Jokic, but the Lakers answer that by collapsing in once it looks like Jokic is about to try and make that pass, with LeBron trying to seal him off, and AD closing out on the pass, and Jokic ends up sending the ball out of bounds, and it's Lakers ball. The Nuggets actually figured out how to respond to this, and they're set up in a very similar way as the last play that I showed you, with Jokic posting up, he's got Rui on him, AD's in the paint, and LeBron is on Aaron Gordon in the dunker spot. It's almost the exact same situation. Aaron Gordon's going to try and cut along the baseline to get the dump off from Jokic, but instead of Jokic passing to Gordon and the ball potentially going out of bounds, he instead kicks it out to KCP, and pay attention to the fact that Jokic is going to pull out to the arc, and that's going to bring Rui with him. So KCP attacks Reeves on the closeout, Aaron Gordon stays in the paint, and Anthony Davis is left as the only guy down there, so he has to worry about not only KCP going up for a layup, but he also has to worry about a dump off to Aaron Gordon. So KCP uses Anthony Davis's hesitation to go up for the layup, and he gets it to fall. This play ended up being the ultimate counter from Denver as far as figuring out how to counter Anthony Davis operating as a roamer in the paint. So they're going to start out in this pick and roll. Jokic is going to screen Reeves. Rui's kind of forced to play in a higher drop, and Murray's going to make the pocket pass to Jokic at the nail. Now pay attention to the fact that Schroeder is going to be at the elbow, sinking in to Jokic. Aaron Gordon slides over from the corner, and when Jokic makes the pass to KCP, Aaron Gordon sets this screen to make sure that Schroeder can't close out, and it leaves KCP completely open for three. Now he misses it, but the point here is that this was the perfect counter to make sure that when AD's being left to roam in the paint, that they're still able to get shooters open for good looks. The thing that's most exciting to me about this series now is the fact that we're going to see the Lakers have an opportunity to figure out how they want to counter what the Nuggets did to counter what the Lakers were doing. It's just going to be a back and forth all series. Huge thank you to all of my patrons for helping make these videos possible. If you guys enjoyed this video and you want to see more content like this, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. That's the #1 way to support me and help me continue to make content. If you want to help support the channel further, you can subscribe to my Patreon. Also, I'm going to be streaming Game 2 on playback.tv/AlexHoops. So if you want to come hang out and watch that game with me, you can click the link in the description and sign up for Playback now, and I'll see you guys later tonight. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.